On January 9, 2026, President Donald Trump stunned the world by announcing plans to authorize U.S. land strikes inside Mexico, a move that immediately sent shockwaves through both political and diplomatic circles. Trump claimed these strikes would specifically target powerful drug cartels, which he argued were running Mexico and fueling violence and instability on both sides of the border. This marks a dramatic and controversial shift in U.S. foreign policy, moving away from years of cross-border cooperation to the threat of unilateral military force on Mexican soil, an unprecedented step in modern times that could redefine the relationship between the two countries. Trump's announcement, made on Fox News rather than through official diplomatic channels, signals a bold, risky gamble that challenges Mexico's sovereignty and puts the entire region on edge, raising fears of escalation and retaliation. The move raises urgent questions about international law, national sovereignty, and the future of U.S.-Mexico relations, as leaders and citizens alike grapple with the potential consequences of such a drastic action. For Mexico, it's a direct challenge to its authority, and a test of its ability to respond to foreign intervention. For the U.S., it's a high-stakes assertion of dominance and a demonstration of willingness to use force beyond its borders. The world now waits anxiously to see if this threat will become reality, risking not only conflict but also a deep rupture between the two nations and potentially destabilizing the region for years to come. President Trump justifies his aggressive policy by blaming Mexican cartels for hundreds of thousands of American deaths, framing military intervention as self-defense. He's dismissed international law, claiming, "My own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop me." Trump's administration has rebranded the Monroe Doctrine as the Donroe Doctrine, asserting U.S. primacy in the hemisphere. The State Department amplified this message with the slogan, "This is our hemisphere." By invoking public health, executive independence, and historical dominance, Trump aims to rally domestic support and intimidate regional adversaries. The strategy is clear: comply with U.S. demands or face the consequences. In response, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has categorically rejected any foreign military intervention, calling it an unacceptable violation of sovereignty. She's drawn a clear line: cooperation, yes; subordination and intervention, no. Her stance is both a diplomatic necessity and a political imperative, rallying national unity against perceived U.S. bullying. Despite economic risks, Sheinbaum refuses to allow foreign troops on Mexican soil, knowing it would be seen as a catastrophic surrender of sovereignty. The standoff is tense. Mexico stands firm on principle, while the U.S. projects strength through threats. The coming weeks will test Sheinbaum's resolve as the threat of U.S. military action looms. Trump's threats against Mexico are backed by recent U.S. military action in Venezuela, where a massive assault led to the capture of President Maduro and his wife. The operation, involving over 150 aircraft, left Caracas in chaos and demonstrated America's willingness to use overwhelming force. The U.S. quickly moved to control Venezuela's oil and install a new political order, showing intervention goes far beyond military strikes. This precedent makes Trump's threats against Mexico chillingly credible. Latin America has seen what U.S. intervention looks like. The region now faces heightened fear and uncertainty, with Mexico next in the crosshairs. The current crisis is only the latest chapter in a long, complicated U.S.-Mexico relationship, a history shaped by moments of both cooperation and coercion. For decades, the two countries have been bound together by geography, trade, and shared challenges, but also divided by mistrust and power imbalances. Under intense pressure from Washington, Mexico has deployed thousands of troops to its northern border and extradited dozens of high-profile suspects to the United States, hoping these actions would satisfy the Trump administration and ease tensions. Yet, these significant concessions have only led to more U.S. demands and increasingly aggressive actions, including unauthorized attacks on vessels operating in the region, further straining the fragile trust between the two nations. Even as Mexico steps up its cooperation, the United States continues to escalate, using each Mexican concession as leverage for further pressure, rather than as a foundation for genuine partnership or mutual respect. The pattern is unmistakable. Mexican cooperation is consistently met not with gratitude or partnership, but with new threats, shifting demands, and a persistent sense of distrust. For Mexico, the latest threat of land strikes is not an isolated incident, but the culmination of a sustained campaign of intimidation and pressure, leaving the country to navigate a precarious and often one-sided relationship with its powerful northern neighbor. Mexican resistance to U.S. intervention is rooted in a painful history. Wars, occupations, and lost territory have left deep scars. Generations have grown up hearing stories of struggle and resilience, shaping a collective memory that fuels national pride and caution. The echoes of past conflicts still influence how Mexicans view their northern neighbor, and every new threat is filtered through this lens of historical trauma. The 1846–48 war and the 1914 occupation of Veracruz are vivid reminders of past humiliations, making any U.S. military presence a red line. These events are not just chapters in history books, they are living memories, invoked in political speeches and family conversations alike, reinforcing a deep-seated wariness of foreign intervention. President Sheinbaum's refusal to allow intervention is both political survival and national identity. Her stance resonates with millions who see sovereignty as non-negotiable, and her leadership is tested by the need to balance international pressure with the expectations of her people. Trump's threats extend beyond Mexico, targeting Colombia, and even proposing to buy Greenland, signaling a disregard for allies and norms. His unpredictable approach to foreign policy has left many nations wary, and his rhetoric stirs anxiety across the region, raising questions about the future of international cooperation. As of January 10, 2026, the two nations stand at a crossroads. Trump threatens action, Sheinbaum defends sovereignty. The stakes are high, and every decision made now could shape the destiny of millions on both sides of the border. The path forward is perilous. Diplomacy and respect are needed, but in short supply. Tensions simmer beneath the surface, and the world watches closely, hoping for a peaceful resolution. The future of North America hangs in the balance, with history's weight pressing down and the next chapter still unwritten.